To get started, I will be using a ½ pound of ground turkey meat. You can use the ground meat of your choice. I'm using turkey meat today. I'm also going to be using 12 ounces of pasta sauce. You can use the pasta sauce of your choice. The one that I'm using today is Bertolli's, and it's an olive oil, basil, and garlic combination. I'm also going to be using some leftover veggies that I have here. I have half a bell pepper that needs to be used, so I'm going to use that. I'm also going to use some of this red onion. I might not use all of it, but maybe half of it. I'm also going to use 1 pint of mushrooms. You can use the mushrooms of your choice, or you don't have to use them at all. So I'm going to go ahead and start chopping and sauteing. Okay, so here I've been preheating a pot and I've just added a couple tablespoons of olive oil to it, and now I'm going to start sauteing. But I should have probably browned my mushrooms first, which I always do, but I'm in a hurry and a little scatterbrained, so I started with the bell pepper and onion, but definitely you want to brown your mushrooms first because I'll show you later what happens when you add them after the fact. But anyways, I'm going to commit to this mistake and I'm going to saute the peppers and onion until translucent, and now I probably should have added the mushrooms, but no, I managed to add the ground turkey. So again, I'm going to brown the ground turkey, and after it's browned well, then I'll add the mushrooms. But again, just a reminder, you want to brown your mushrooms first because the mushrooms will release a lot of water, and if you saute them in a pan first by themselves without adding any salt, you'll get a good browning on them. So now I'm going to add some salt and pepper to taste. I'm also going to be adding some onion powder to taste. Somewhere between 1/4 teaspoon and 1/2 teaspoon will work. And I will also be adding some garlic powder as well. Now I'm just going to give everything a good mix and continue browning and cooking the ground turkey. That everything is browned and combined well, I'm going to scoot everything to one side of the pan and see if I can get away with adding the mushrooms on the empty side to attempt to get browning on the mushroom. Now here's what I wanted to show you earlier. See all of this liquid releasing from the mushrooms and pooling in the bottom of your pot? Yeah, had I sauteed the mushrooms first, I could have avoided this. But I'm going to roll with it, and I'm just going to continue cooking and browning everything until ready to add the sauce. Okay, so I've managed to cook out most of the liquid that collected at the bottom of the pot. So now I'm going to add more liquid, my pasta sauce. By the way, you could totally make a French bread pizza and skip this meat sauce preparation and just use pizza sauce. That definitely works, but I like to add a leaner protein and sneak in veggies into the meat sauce before I add all of the toppings. This is why I do this. So I'm just going to combine the pasta sauce and the meat. And here I'm going to add a little more pepper to taste, and then I'm going to cover this with a lid and allow it to simmer for 15 minutes. I'd also like to mention that you will find all of the ingredients and measurements in the description area below this video. I will also add video links to recipes that you might like as well. Okay, so the meat sauce is pretty much done after simmering. I want to show you the other ingredients I will be using. Here I went ahead and sliced up some bell pepper, onion, olives, and mushrooms. I'm also using 8 ounces of fresh mozzarella cheese that I've grated and some turkey pepperoni. Again, the toppings are endless. You can top your pizza with whatever ingredients you like. Okay, so my meat sauce is ready. It has reduced and simmered. Now to assemble this French bread pizza. I will need 1 loaf of French bread. This is a large loaf of French bread that I have sliced right down the middle. I'll open it here, and I'm basically just going to start assembling these French bread pizzas. One for the adults and one for the kids. Okay, so my French bread pizzas are pretty much assembled at this point, and I wanted to mention that I have been preheating my oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I will be baking my pizza for 15 minutes or until all the cheese is melted and the French bread is crusty and golden brown. That can take somewhere between 15 to 18 minutes. Once the pizza's done, I like to remove my French bread pizza from the oven and allow it to set for around 5 to 10 minutes before cutting into it. And the easiest way to cut into your pizza is just to get a sharp knife and slice right into it. Now, if you don't add quick pressure to when you're cutting this, you might get a lot of sliding cheese and falling toppings. So make sure it's a swift cut when you cut into this. I'll show you what I mean. And just like that, you have a clean slice of French bread pizza. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.